All right, so now that we talked about getting your ticket to making an offer, which through your pre-approval, let's talk about how we're going to find your home. So finding the right home, how to make an offer, what those next steps are, that's exactly what we're going to go into now. And I'm going to shift gears a little bit to do that. So there are 5 ways that we're going to look and find your next home. The first way is pretty simple. I'm going to send you properties that match your criteria that we talked about today that are on the market. So I'll be sending those properties at least 2 times a day, and you'll be able to see those through your email. And then you can also see these properties online through different websites and things like that. So, if you see something you like, call me. Let me know. We'll set it up and we'll go see it. All right. So that's pretty straightforward. The next way is going to be for sale by owners. Now, I can help you with for sale by owners as well. We have access to all the for sale by owners here in the area, and I can help you with those properties, whether they're on the market or off the market. I do want to warn you that most for sale by owners are going to be priced a little higher than what the market value is. But if you drive by, and you see a for sale by owner sign, let me know. Call me. I will get the showing set up with the seller, and we'll get going that way. Okay. All right. And another way is through foreclosures. Now, foreclosure homes, we're experts with dealing with these kinds of properties. If you find or come across any foreclosure properties, we just might need to gather some more information before we dive into those. A lot of those properties are going to be distressed properties. They might need a lot more work. And you might also see properties that are in what's called pre-foreclosure. And those are properties that are not available. And again, we just might need to do a little more digging, a little more research before we get into those properties, okay? But regardless, call me, let me know what property you're interested in, and I can gather that information for you. Sound good? Any questions? Okay, great. The next area, and this is where I hope we can find something, is our wood cells. Now, wood cells are properties that are not on the market right now, but they are for sale. They have sellers who are like, hi, I'm willing to sell my house. We have access to these properties. So those are just for our clients, though. So those properties are not going to be available to just anybody. They're only going to be available to our clients. I like to be able to play matchmaker a little bit in this kind of realm, so that's exactly what I get to do here. But another thing is that as you're talking to friends, family, coworkers about buying a home, you might come across someone who says, hey, I'm thinking about selling my home. If that's the case, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to coordinate everything and get with them, and to make sure that we have a seamless process with that. So the last bucket that I'll talk about today is going to be new construction. So that's obviously a great option as well. Home builders have their own advocates that take care of them, not someone who's going to take care of you. So if there are any new construction properties that you do come across that you're interested in, just let me know, and I'll be able to, make sure that you get the proper representation for them, that you're not overpaying for things that you don't need and things like that. So are there any questions about those 5 buckets and how those are the ways that we find a home? No? Okay, great. All right, so let's talk about now once we find the right home, what it's going to look like to make an offer. So I've done a little bit of homework before we met today. So I pulled up some market material that I'm going to turn my computer around and show you here. But before we get into any of that, I just want to make sure, do you have any questions about anything that we've gone over so far? No? Okay. Well, what I'd like to talk to you about now is exactly what it's going to take to get an offer accepted in today's market in the area that you're looking in. So I want you to have a very clear picture of what it's going to take. So there's going to be 6 parts to this section. So the first thing is going to be the market overview. So for the area that you're looking in Parkville, typically the houses are staying on the market about 11 days. So, homes right now sell within a couple weeks of each other, for the most part on average. Now, as I go through each one of these sections, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about each part, but that's just going to give you an idea as far as what we're looking at in this for the area that you're interested in. The second part here talks about months of inventory. So months of inventory is I'm just gonna tell you exactly how many months it would take to sell every house that's available right now. So right now for this area, it's about 1.5 months of inventory. So what that means is that if there wasn't another house that hit the market tomorrow, how long would it take to run out of houses? About 1.5 months. And the reason why that's important to you is to know that like a balanced market would be about 4 to 6 months of inventory. So with inventory being low, that is causing prices to kind of stay where they are and potentially houses to sell for even more than what the asking price is. Which brings into the next section talking about list price to sales price ratio. So what I've done is I've actually pulled up for the Parkville area, what you can see here on my computer. You can see that homes are selling at about 99% of asking price. That means that some homes you might be able to negotiate a little bit on, but for pretty much every option, they're going to be getting close to that, if not at asking price. Now, for a specific neighborhood that we've actually talked about, those homes are selling for about 2 to 3% above the asking price, and that's what you can see here on the recently sold properties in the last couple months. They actually ended up selling for about 2 to 3% above the asking price. So I just want you to know what that looks like, so that you know, hey, if we come across a home that you absolutely love, the list price might just be a starting point, and this is kind of the range that we're seeing those homes sell in. Does that make sense? Perfect. So the next part I want to talk about is days on market. So because of months of inventory being so low, homes don't stay on the market generally very long. So that 11 days is kind of what to expect in general for this area. Again, for this specific neighborhood though, it looks like they sell in about 6 days. So what that means is that if you see one of those houses that you like, we really need to make sure that we're getting in to see it within that 6-day time frame. Does that make sense? Perfect. And then once we come across the home that you really love and you're ready to make an offer on it, I will go over with you some comparables. So homes that are similar to this one and what they sold for, so that we can come up with a strong competitive offer. We like to use this is the 5-5-5 method here. So it takes 5 active properties, 5 sold properties, and 5 under contract properties to come up with that strong offer for us to start out at. As you can see, I did pull up some homes that have sold and that are under contract and that are available right now in the area. And so like you can see what the numbers suggest here. If we find that property that you love, this is going to be what you need to expect. Any questions? Okay, last but not least, negotiations. So that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to negotiate the terms that work best for you. And there are things that we negotiate other than price. So some of those other terms that we can negotiate on are inspections, appraisals, closing time frame, earnest money, all of that. And so what that looks like, so that you know, is that most inspections are going to be on a 10-day inspection period. Most closings happen within 30 days. You can deposit earnest money within 5 days of the seller accepting your offer. And then earnest money, the expected amount is about 1% of the purchase price. And we'll go over all that information again when we're ready to write that offer. But how does everything sound so far? Okay, do you have any questions about any of that I've gone over? Okay, all right, great. Well, what I want to do next is I want to introduce you to my team. So after we negotiate your offer and your offer gets accepted, you're going to get introduced to my entire team. So I want to let you know who's on it right now. So every home requires 180 tasks to get it completed, from the offer to the closing table. That's a lot, right? And it can be overwhelming for only one person to do, which is why I have a whole team of people and experts in their individual fields that are going to be working with you throughout this entire process, so they can give you 100% of their attention in their area of expertise for their position. And you can relax knowing that every detail is going to be taken care of. Does that sound good? All right, well, first person I want to introduce you to is my team leader, Ken. He oversees everything from all of us as agents and throughout the process. You'll have my showing partner, Nicole, be able to help show you different properties throughout as well. My team, our director of operations, Beth, will be there to check in and make sure that everything is going smoothly on the operations side of things. We have a transaction coordinator named Melissa who's going to make sure that all the contract paperwork stays compliant, all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, all that stuff. And then I'll also be recommending different inspectors that you can use, title company to be able to process all of the title paperwork, and then, as I mentioned to you earlier, recommending a great lender for you to use as well. So it'll be a whole team of people that'll be here to help you with the decision of finding your home. Once you found your home, getting from offer to closing. And if you, for whatever reason, can't get in touch with anyone throughout the process, let me know, and I will make sure that we get them in touch with you as well, because I definitely want to make sure that all of your questions get answered. So, any questions about my team and anything about that? All right, sounds good. Well, I want to go over with you kind of what a buyer beware page is. It's not meant to be scary. It's just meant for you to have the knowledge of what not to do once we're under contract, because all of these items have happened before and it kept someone from getting into their dream home. So we might joke about these, but please do take them seriously. So anytime you're using financing, these are things that you need to know. They can affect your ability to obtain a loan. So I'm going to go over with these with you and make sure that you understand. So the first one is that don't change your jobs. Don't become self-employed, okay? Don't go out and buy a truck or a new vehicle. Don't excessively use credit cards or cancel cards or fall behind on payments. So even if you're using credit cards right now, that's fine. If you get pre-approved and that's how you're doing it, that's totally fine. Just make sure you maintain that, okay? Don't spend money you set aside for closing. So don't spend the money that you have for your down payment and closing costs, okay? Do not leave out any debt or liabilities on your loan application. They're gonna come up, and you don't want them to come up as an issue at the last minute. Do not buy any furniture on credit. Don't originate any new loans or credit inquiries. Don't make any large deposits or withdrawals without checking with your loan officer first. Don't change bank accounts, and don't co-sign for a loan for anyone. Okay? Any questions?